Hi, welcome to episode 4 of our podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about weight loss drugs, the latest raving trend out there. I'm here with Smita from Smita London.
Hello.
Hi there. I've heard some things about these weight loss drugs. Ozempic is one, Mounjaro I think is another. You must have come across these, and I'm just wondering about side effects from a skin point of view.
Yeah, I definitely have come across those. And what's really interesting is that not everybody will admit that they are on this Ozempic. And now you've probably heard about the Ozempic face, which...
Ozempic face?
Yeah, it's when you lose weight very, very quickly, you really do know. You obviously notice it on your body, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you notice it on the face. And the face has lost a lot of fat. So it suddenly starts to look quite gaunt. And when a face starts to look gaunt, it looks very aged. So the person could be very happy with their body, but actually there is an issue with their face. I see it on some of my clients, and maybe I'll say to them, oh, you've lost a lot of weight, but not everybody wants to admit to taking it, which is quite sad. And I do worry about that, because I think it's all about client confidentiality. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to judge. It's up to the client what they want to do. But I wouldn't put it as Ozempic face. It's basically all about losing fat really rapidly, because it's not to do with the fact that you've taken this weight loss drug. It's like you've been on a crush diet and you are now, your skin has lost the elasticity.
Yeah, whether it's through a drug or not, right? If you lose weight that fast,
it's going to affect, and it's going to affect. So basically, you do see more lines and wrinkles. You see much more sagging skin.
Sagging,
the skin just really does sag, and that's because there's not as much elasticity, and the fat has. The fat content in the skin is gone, so that's really going to make a big impact on the face. Hair loss is a big one as well, because you're not getting enough nutrients that you should get. It's going to affect your gut again. If your gut is affected, not enough fatty acids in your diet because you're not as hungry, it's going to affect your face as well. You're going to become more sensitive. So these are the kind of things I've seen, and I really notice that the skin is much more reactive to treatments that the client has had before. Yeah. But all of a sudden, the skin can't tolerate it. Yeah, it could be my fault.
Because they've just lost their...
Yeah, but because the client's not telling me...
Their resistance,
Yeah. But I know, because how come you have reacted this time but you haven't reacted before, right? So that is a really, really big issue. I do feel, like I said, that the skin is aging, and there are treatments that you can do, but to be honest, that's when I would probably say the client needs filler, even though I don't believe in all of that, because you need to put fat back into the skin. That's a quick fix, but you need to put some volume back into the face.
I mean, if you get sagging skin like that, does the skin gradually tighten up again, or?
Well, you need to do collagen induction treatments like microneedling of radio frequency, fractional radio frequency, which is basically you're using radio frequency with needles. So you can do those kind of treatments to really stimulate the collagen. How do you feel about it as a psychotherapist?
Yeah.
Because again, it's all about body image, beauty
absolutely.
standards.
Again, it's it's a similar pattern. It's the story of our times, right? People always want the quick fix, as it were, and it feels like it falls into that category. Now, I've done some research on it. I guess it can only really be prescribed to people if they are already obese, or I think originally it's also to help people with type 2 diabetes as well. So there are other benefits to it. But putting that aside, it's more about I'm more interested in the psychology of what would make somebody do it, and also what effect might that have on them. And also you think, okay, somebody's obese, fair enough, maybe there's, for health reasons, this may be the best option.
I agree. I mean, to say that I agree with that. I don't have a problem with someone taking it at all if they need it for health. But some people take it too far, or some people are on it when they're not actually, they don't need to be on it, or they've taken it for such a long time, they've lost their way. And that's what I was saying.
So what troubles me then, firstly, when you look at the data, surprise, surprise, it's far more women than men who take it. surprise, surprise, it's younger women. It's questionable whether this is really targeted at the people who really need it. It's not middle-aged men who their bellies won't go down anymore because their metabolism slowed down. People in the prime of their lives taking it, which says something about the way it's targeted, the way it's marketed, right? So the commercialization of it worries me. It's kind of, again, like many cosmetic areas, like cosmetic procedures, and generally, it's about telling people that this is a way out for them. You don't need to make any effort. I mean, I saw one article about a woman who was delighted that she'd had no side effects, apparently, and she could still carry on eating her Chinese takeaway. And I'm thinking, well, that kind of just feels like, well, I would almost feel like I want to talk to you about maybe you need to think about your Chinese takeaways. Yeah. Maybe don't have all these Chinese takeaways. But she was absolutely ecstatic about it. And,
that's a bit like me and my biscuits. Oh, yeah.
So it's the, I guess it's the promise of getting something for free, isn't it? You get something without any. If you could take it with no side effect, carry on eating whatever you wanted, your hair wouldn't thin, your skin wouldn't sag, you'd just be thinner than before. But the reality is, of course, it isn't like that, is it?
There's always a reality, isn't there?
It has to be prescribed, so there are some checks and balances in there. But I feel like it should be a last resort, almost. You should be looking at other ways to think about why isn't your diet the way it should be. Yeah.
But also, it's not cheap. That's another thing.
Cheap,
you could just get a personal trainer. I'm sure. I think it's about £100 a month. Oh, actually, maybe that. I suppose a personal trainer would be.
Yeah.
No. So, but again,
it's about the commercialization of it, isn't it? So people are going to be pushing it because there's money to be made. Yeah. So yes, I feel slightly uneasy about it. Let's say, but I expect to hear much more about it in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. Thanks very much. Very interesting.
Thank you, Harren Rasalingam from Thought Bubble.
Harren Rasalingam from Thought Bubble.
And Smita Ahluwalia from Smita London.
Thank you, Smita from Smita London.